Welcome to the 98 Central podcast, where we talk about growing a business, working in media, and building a team that we love. I'm Danielle. I'm the intern at 98 Central, and I'm joined by John Godwin, our production leader, and AJ Villanueva, our... Did I pronounce your last name right?
Not really.
Okay, cool. I tried.
It's okay. Close enough.
You are our junior editor.
Yes.
Here at 98 Central.
Yes.
So today we're going to be talking about their careers. And sort of giving me, a college student, as well as any college student listening, advice on career path, kind of how to get to where you want to go. And I would say like reassuring everyone on like that not everyone has the same path to get to their career. And so John,
right on.
What did you major in? Where did this start for you, wanting to work in media, and how did you end up here?
Okay.
A brief summary.
Yeah. So.
Or not so brief, whatever you want.
I've always had a desire for video production pretty much since I was 9 years old. Goes back that far. Played with cameras since then. Got into editing when I was in middle school. So when I left high school, I knew I wanted to do video production. I went to North Greenville University and majored in broadcast media. So that kind of covered video and radio, and more of a context of news on the video side. But I knew that's not what I wanted to do, but it covered all of the basis for what I knew I needed to know. So yeah, that was my direction. And then I got to graduation and was like, cool, let me go find a video production job. And in the area I live in, which is here in Greenville, I knew I didn't want to move for a job. So I was just like, Google video production jobs in Greenville. And there was nothing. There's more now, obviously, because we're one of them. We're a company now. But at the time, there was nothing. So I just took whatever job I could find. And most people who did video production just did freelance work. And I had no idea how to do any of that. I wish I had guidance in that moment, because I probably would have done that right out of college. But it's very intimidating. So I just did odd jobs to pay the bills while I did kind of freelance on the side. I got into filming weddings. That was a lot of my work. And then I also did some stuff for some real estate companies until about, 3 years ago, I quit my full-time job and did freelance full-time. And really enjoyed doing that, and knew that I'd finally made it to where I wanted to do. And then a lot of the work I did was with Will Stewart, the owner of our company. So eventually he offered me a job to work for his company, 98 Central. And I accepted and was like, let's do this. So here I am.
Here you are.
About a year and a few months in as full-time with him. So yeah.
Amazing.
That's how I got here.
Yeah. And you, AJ?
So it's been kind of a winding road for me. I've wanted to do many different types of careers, and I finally landed here. So I'll just kind of give a brief summary. I started in middle school wanting to do music because I was a big band nerd, still am. Wanted to do music. My parents were like, "No, that doesn't pay a lot of money." It's like, okay. So then they encouraged me to do science stuff. So I was originally going to be a computer engineer because I thought, building computers is fun. I like video games, so computers aren't that hard. Got to college, did general engineering, did well. Went into computer engineering, did poorly. Figured out this is not what I want to do. So then I did the next best thing, which is computer science. I did that for a couple semesters, did pretty well. Then I did a co-op that I did not like at all. It was probably the worst time of my life. Paid well, but I was very miserable. So I decided I should do something else. Around that time, I joined the media team for Tiger Band because I'm a big band nerd and I liked what they were doing. So I was like, let's give it a shot. So I did a lot of the graphics at first and then started doing video editing and was like, this is probably what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I decided to finish out my career, finish out my degree in computer science and come back for marketing as like my grad school option. Realized marketing is not video editing. I should probably not do this, but still finished out anyway because
Good for you.
Mama didn't raise a quitter. So I continued going through that and found a job after graduation, just remotely, working on video editing for bands. Just around this time, it was COVID, and everyone had to stay indoors and do whatever they did. And so they filmed themselves just like in a room, isolated, and they sent it to us, and we put it all together, and they're a big virtual band, basically.
Nice.
I did that for about a year, and then I found the junior editor position online on Facebook, actually. It's like, let's just do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Came in, interviewed, they liked me, and now I'm here, like
Cool.
almost a year later. So.
Wow. So both of you guys, I think, had like maybe not so like linear paths to where you are, even though John, like you knew what you wanted to do.
Mhm.
It didn't quite like come together until like, a couple years ago, 3 years ago. So what advice would you guys have for people who are like maybe thinking, okay, the only path is to graduate, get a job in what I majored in, and then like move up the ranks and like make all this money or whatever. Like they have this idea that they have to have this linear career path. What advice do you have for those people who are maybe like really nervous about that coming out of college and like maybe not finding something right away?
Yeah. I would say, continue to pursue your passion. Like if what you're studying is what you're passionate about, try to get a job in that field like I did. It just didn't work out for me right away. And it may not for you, the doors may just not be open just yet. But I would say don't give up on it. Like do what you got to do. You got to pay bills. You got to have a job. But if you still have a desire to do something, still do whatever you can to look for that job.
So my big piece of advice would probably be to never give up. It's kind of cliche in a way, but if you really want to like work in something or you really want to like be good at something, you don't give up. Like if that's really your passion, you have to go at it 110%. You have to keep grinding it out. It's going to be a little tiresome, but I think in the end, you'll really love what you're doing. You'll really enjoy what you're doing. You won't be like upset that you grinded out like 5 or 10 years to really get to the point where you are now. And I just like, I feel like that resonates well with me because I was just lost in a sense in college and I wanted to really find what I wanted to do. And after such a long journey, I'm finally, I think where I'm at like is what I want to do forever, really. And yeah, just
That's
never give
amazing.
up.
Yeah. And don't think that you're a failure just because you don't find the job that you wanted right after college.
Yeah,
it's just like sometimes it just doesn't happen right away. It's not in your control. But another thing I would say is to definitely pursue mentorship in the field. Like find people who are where you want to be and talk to them. How did you get there? How can I get there? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Like that is huge. And that's something I wish I would have done. I did not do that.
Yeah.
And I floated from job to job doing different things for so long. And I feel like if I had a mentorship, I could have at least started doing freelance in the field I love a lot sooner than I did. So definitely pursue mentorship.
Yeah. I mean, that's like everyone here has been super helpful in every single aspect for me as an intern. And even when we like are on set with people who aren't like, they're not employees here, but we, contract them out and whatnot. Those people are also like always so helpful to me and like willing to answer any questions that I have when we have downtime and stuff. Yeah, that's great advice, you guys.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll keep it in the back of my mind. Never give up. I'll put it on a t-shirt. I bet no one's ever done that
Yeah,
before.
never. I've never heard that phrase before in my life.
No. But yeah, so I took a year off in between my freshman and sophomore year because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to transfer and all that stuff. So I really did research on like what type of job I wanted. And when I realized that this was what I wanted to do, I like came up with a plan, sort of. It didn't go all to the plan as usual, especially because of COVID. But I knew that I wanted to like work on sets, movie sets or film, video production, all that. And I knew that I had to start like as a PA and figure out what type of role I wanted and then work my way up. So far it's been pretty like, okay, this is what I want to do. And like, now I can see like where it's going and it's all coming together. But there's people that want to work in film or video production or media or whatever, but they don't really know. Maybe that's not the path that they want. Some people just go right into like making their own films and whatnot. I knew that wasn't really what I wanted to do because I don't have some insane script that I want to like come to life. I don't have those types of ideas. So I think it's interesting to see how like same jobs, but people come at them differently. So is there anything you guys can speak to of like, if a college student is listening right now and they know where they want to end up, but they don't know like how to get there, like maybe like how to start or like how to know what path to take?
I mean, I kind of want to hint back at what you said.
Yeah.
Like you took a year off.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of,
Which I was very lucky to do. By the way.
yeah.
Shout out to my parents.
Yeah, that's a big thing. But also, if you are able to, I feel like taking a break just in general is so important. Like it's kind of underrated. Like people always say like, oh, the grind never stops. You got to keep grinding. You got to keep doing this. Like you don't need to. Like if you are like able to take a break, like it's so like mentally
There's no
taxing.
rush.
Exactly.
No.
It's just like
No.
you get so much fatigue from just grinding it out all the time, and it's just you kind of like lose that drive if you keep driving. Like I stated earlier, like if you want something, you work for it, but like it shouldn't be so mentally taxing on you that you just kind of fall out of it and then not want to do anything.
Yeah.
So going back to your point, like just take a break and just kind of like think about like what you want to do. Like I feel like that's such an underrated thing that people that people don't do a lot. They just take breaks and just think about, hey, what do I want to do? Really?
Self-reflection.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
a great thing.
Yeah. And like I said, mentorship is always great. Also, you may know generically what you want to do. Like, let's say, like, for instance, me, video production, I just knew video production. There's so many different ways that can go. Like, try out different avenues. Like, or let's say you're an engineer. What kind of engineering are you into? Maybe you don't know. Try out different firms. It's like, oh, if you don't like the one you're in, then like you'll sometimes you don't know until you do it, until you try it.
Yeah.
So, be adventurous, try different occupations, different careers if you don't know what you want specifically. And you'll know in the moment, this is what I want, this is not what I want. And then you can correct your course from there.
Totally.
Don't feel like you're stuck in like, oh, I took this job, I need to see it through. It looks bad on a resume to hop job to job, which people do like to see that you have been at a job for a long amount of time. But also, they're going to have some grace with you knowing you just graduated college, you're trying to figure out life, you're figuring it out. So
yeah, and I have two older sisters, and they've had similar moments. We've all had similar moments, me more college than career, of like realizing something wasn't right for them and like trusting their gut, and then realizing that decision was like the best possible. And my older sister works in like communications and stuff. And I talked to her recently because she was talking about how she wanted to work for Netflix or something. And I was like, you always have these companies you want to work for, but I never had that. Like, I never looked up to a company in that way. And she was like, yeah, because I never had like something in particular that I was passionate about doing, but I always like looked up to certain companies, which I think is interesting because I'm following my passion. And she loves the company she's at now, but she used to be at one that wasn't the right fit. And so maybe it's not what you're doing, but where you are. There's like so many different aspects, of course, to your career. And John, since you're in Greenville and you talked about like there was not really as much video production early on, sometimes it's hard geographically where you are, depending on your career.
Sure.
Now, obviously, like we have 9A Central and Greenville's growing like as a city in general. But I think it's also like if you do like look for it and you work towards it, you can find a balance between like work life and whatever that means.
Yeah.
If you want to speak to that a little bit more.
And I mean, all of my family lives in Greenville, and I knew above an occupation that I wanted to stay in Greenville. Like that was the most important thing to me, which if that's not to you, that's everybody's different. Some people, they want to find that career and then start their life wherever that career may be. So that's fine. Move to where you can find that job if it's not available to you where you're at.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, what's the most important thing to you? What was the other part of that question?
I think you answered it.
Okay.
Yeah. I also think if you don't, sometimes it's not always super compatible, but I didn't think there was any video production in Greenville. When I came down to school, I go to Clemson, and when I got this internship, a lot of people from home, I'm from New Jersey, they were like, I didn't know they did that sort of thing in Greenville. And it's not always, you don't always get so lucky, but I just Googled like video production companies in Greenville, and that's how I got connected. So if you just do a little bit of research, maybe it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be that much all the time. But if you do research, you can a lot of times like find things where you are, find opportunities. And also it might not be the exact thing that you want to do. Like, for example, I worked at the theater, the Brooks Center on campus, because I knew before I got this internship, because I knew that that maybe there was like one, even if there was like one sort of light or one sort of like piece of equipment that they used on video production sets that like matched up, I would at least know that.
Yeah.
And like, it was the littlest things. Like, they taught me how to like wrap up a cord the correct way. And when I got to set with Night Central the first time, I knew how to do that. And that was like one little thing. But I was like, you can like, if you look for like any type of experience, like it can lead you onto the right path. If maybe you don't have like the exact job you want out of college, or when you're in college, like the exact type of internship or something.
And kind of in conclusion, I was just going to say, I'm not bashing anybody who is in a career that they did not study for. Like, I have so many friends that studied media with me, probably more than not the others, and that they do not work in media now. They all have so many random different jobs, and they are doing great and thriving in life, and they love their life and have no problems with it. That's great. You know, if it works out for you that way, do that, just kind of like what I was saying earlier, maybe you're an engineer, try different engineering firms. Maybe engineering isn't for you altogether, and you have to take another direction in life, Exactly. So, try out different things and find what makes you happy and stick with that. Life is too short to spend it in a job you hate.
Totally.
And you spend most of your life in your job. Yeah. So work somewhere you like to be.
And to piggyback off of that, it's never too late to change.
It's not. Yeah.
It's very
You're
true.
never stuck.
You could be like 80 years old and decide, hey, I want to go back and just, change something. You can do that.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's your life.
Yeah.
You're the main character. Live
it's
it.
so true.
Yeah.
And to circle back to talking about taking a break, I mean, you go from high school to college. Most people don't take any time off. They just think, oh, I want to do this when I'm 17, 18. And you decide that. Like, even some people, they start taking like anatomy classes like sophomore year because they want to be a doctor. Who knows where you're going to end up? So taking that time whenever that may be, whether that's like right after high school, whether that's right after college, whether that's when you're 90 years old, to realize like maybe, this isn't for me. I mean, maybe work isn't for you if you're 90, but like more power to you. I think this was great. I think you guys had really good advice. I think it's interesting to see different ways that people get to their career. It's not always going to be like this super black and white linear journey, but all journeys are worth it in the end, hopefully. Thank you guys for talking about this. What are you guys digging this week?
This week, I can't remember if I said this on a previous podcast, but if so, I'm still digging it. It's baseball season is back, so watching a lot of Braves. That's my team. They came off the World Championship and are doing so bad now. It's also hard to see such a change. Like a lot of the players are changed out, seeing them on other teams now, and we have new teammates. I said teammates like I'm on the team.
Are you not?
They have other players.
I feel like you are.
We got Ronald Acuna back, but anyway.
Love
So, but I still love playing. I love watching. Like I said, I'm a player. Let's move on to AJ.
Oh gosh. I guess in a completely different realm, I'm really digging Elden Ring. It's still pretty big, like a month, 2 after it launched. It's really hard.
It's a video game.
It's a video game. Sorry, I forgot to Forgot to say
got
that.
you.
Thank you, sir. It's a really hard game, and I've been playing it a little bit. I've been getting really frustrated because it's very hard and it takes a lot of skill. And you know, it's just a really beautiful like open world game, and you know, it's hard, and I want to cry sometimes, but you know, it's kind of like life, I guess.
So true. So true.
What about you?
The first thing that came to mind was I'm a Marvel fan. And Moon Knight was the most recent Disney Plus
did you
series.
watch that?
I loved
Was that
it.
good?
Ooh,
I loved
really?
it. Yeah, my
haven't seen it
favorite
yet.
series to date, I think, is Loki. And this
Yeah.
was probably my second favorite.
Okay.
Now. The acting is just so good. It is so like, I mean, all of them are like out there and like these crazy concepts, but I think it was so cool to see like a completely new story. And it's
Mhm.
they barely reference like other Marvel properties,
okay.
which is very rare if you know
Yes.
Marvel. So it was really fun, and Oscar Isaac was so good.
I was about
And
to say, Oscar Isaac's a pretty good actor.
Yeah, and Ethan Hawke was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I don't remember her name, but the girl who plays Layla in it, she was incredible.
Whoa, spoilers! Come on, I don't know who Layla is.
Okay, well, she's in the first episode of it.
I can't watch it
now.
No, yeah, it was really good. I
Cool.
loved it. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So thanks for listening, everybody. Hopefully you learned a little bit about career journeys, and maybe you feel a little bit better, a little bit more at peace, and you know maybe what next steps to take. We're 98 Central. You can find us at 98c.org, and Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, 98c,
Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah, I said
Yeah.
that once, and then I don't know. I don't know if we
We're
really
there.
use it.
We're there.
We're there. We're there.
We're not
We're
there.
not there.
We're not there. I was just kidding.
We like making jokes here.
Anyways,
Frank.
Get pranked.
thanks for listening.
Mustard and mayonnaise sandwiches.
That
And
sounds
cheese.
kind of good.
Mustard and mayonnaise. It's basically a sandwich without the meat. That's a cool necklace.
Senior.
Is that a slate?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so.
Thanks.
What?
Oh.
Oh, gosh.
God.
Oh, so we're like ready.
Oh.
This is real life.
Okay, great.
And then, I mean, lost my train of thought. Let's cut that part
Fair
out.
enough.
Sorry.